Jenni here, and I just got home from London. After 6 years, I finally went back to London to see Beyonce on her Cowboy Carter tour, and of course, I brought books home. So I visited a few bookstores there in Brunswick area, which I absolutely love staying in, and then in central London as well. I want to start this book haul with a book that I forgot to mention in my summer reads video. I ordered this from Kenny's, which is an Irish online bookstore. Marsha, The Joy and Defiance of Marsha P. Johnson by Tourmaline. I have watched documentaries about Marsha P. Johnson, and I just think that she is such an important person to the LGBTQ plus rights movement. And when Tourmaline was interviewed on the Bitchuation Room podcast by Francesca Fiorentini, which I love, by the way, I thought the interview was really interesting, so I had to pick up this book. And I can't wait to read and learn more about Marsha. Alright, so technically the first bookstore that we visited was Brunswick Bookshop, but it was like just about to close, so we just browsed a little and then we went back there next day. And I got 4 books from Brunswick Bookshop in total. So I got Minor Detail by Adania Shibli, which is about the Nakba and one Palestinian woman's experience regarding to it. Like, it's the Nakba is like the basis of the story, but many years later a woman in Ramallah becomes fascinated to the point of obsession with this minor detail of history. A haunting meditation on war, violence and memory, Minor Detail cuts to the heart of the Palestinian experience of dispossession, life under occupation, and the persistent difficulty of piecing together a narrative in the face of ongoing erasure and disempowerment. I've seen a lot of great reviews of this book, so I had to get it. Also, I love the Fitzcarraldo edition so much. As I've mentioned many times on this channel, Free Palestine and the Occupation and the Apartheid. The next book is an autobiography by Angela Y. Davis. I have looked at this book in intrigue for a while now. When I saw it there at Brunswick Bookshop, I was like, you know what, time to pick it up. Again, Angela Y. Davis, I have read her work before, I have watched many interviews from her, but it will be interesting to see kind of her personal journey and personal life, and how her personal life and politics are discussed in this book. The next book is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I've been meaning to read this for a really long time now, and I recently watched the newest adaptation. I thought it was brilliant. So I want to read the original book as well. So it's about Celie and Nettie, who grow up in early 20th century rural Georgia. Celie and Nettie have an abusive father, and then Celie is forced into an abusive marriage. So this goes through Celie's journey in her life and her identity and so on. I can't wait to read it. Okay, so the last book I got from Brunswick is not actually for me, but it's for Joel, who recently graduated, as I mentioned in my previous video. Dracula, Bram Stoker. I've never seen these editions anywhere before, and I thought they were so stunning, but I kept my cool and didn't buy additional chain editions to my collection, but I got this one. It's really beautiful, and I love the sizing of the pages here as well. Then next up, my best friend and I visited Scoop Books, which is a secondhand bookstore. And they had a really wide selection. They even included Finnish books, which was interesting. I unfortunately couldn't find anything for myself there, but once again for Joel, I got Tolkien on Fairy Stories Expanded Edition with commentary and notes. So this is an essay Tolkien wrote, and this edition has been edited by Verlin Flieger and Douglas A. Anderson. And yeah, Joel has a whole collection of Tolkien books, but didn't have this one, so it's nice to add it to his shelf. Then we went to a Waterstones that was in this Brunswick area, a little further away. It was actually next to a university. Which was reflected in their selection because they had a wide selection of history books, and I am a total history nerd, but even I was like overwhelmed by the amount of history books there. There was local history, obviously British, English history, but there was also international history, African history, Middle Eastern, Latin American, like just everything. Just, books of history of literally everywhere. And then philosophy books, and like it was so impressive. I ended up getting some fiction books there, but they didn't really have the typical Waterstones fiction selection, if that makes sense, and I was very happily surprised by that. I got another Fitzcarraldo edition, Perfection by Vincenzo Latronico. Once again, another book that I bought because I've seen positive reviews on social media. I really should stop doing that, but anyways, this is translated by Sophie Hughes. Millennial expat couple and Soma living the dream in Berlin in a bright, affordable, plant-filled apartment. And basically, it seems that they are living this perfect life, but beyond the images, dissatisfaction and ennui burgeon. Work becomes repetitive, friends move back home, have children, grow up. Frustrated that their progressive politics amount to little more in practice than boycotting Uber, tipping in cash, or never eating tuna, Anna and Tom make a fruitless attempt at political activism. Sounds very interesting. Okay, then I got Tove Ditlevsen, The Umbrella. This is the new Penguin edition, which are so stunning. But I chose this one as it's a book by one of Denmark's notable authors, and the back cover says longing shimmers from these spare but profoundly moving short stories by one of Denmark's most fearless and sharp-eyed authors. In these cells of inarticulate desire and repression, Ditlevsen pulls to the surface our deepest interiorities in devastating, exacting prose. That sounds very impressive. That sounds incredible. Can't wait to read. Then I got Yeonam Dong's Smiley Laundromat by Kim Ji-yeon, translated by Shana Tan. This seems to be like a short story collection of each character of each short story being related to this laundromat. I've already read the first one. I thought it was so sweet. Yeah, I can't wait to continue this one. Then we visited Waterstones by Trafalgar Square because I was on a mission to find a book for Joel that Joel had requested me to bring. Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House. Joel absolutely loves Shirley Jackson's writing and he really wanted this one, so I'm so happy I found it there. I didn't get anything from myself from that Waterstones because I bought quite a few books already for myself. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little haul video. I absolutely loved being in London. It's been a while since I've been there, so it was nice to return to someplace but in a way there are still so many parts of London that I've never seen before, like Brunswick. I had never been there before. Yeah, if you want to read my book updates when I read these books, follow me on my Bookstagram account, jenskosmos. The video is really great because I live in Finland and our weather is very unpredictable at times. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!